Hello, 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 and welcome to Emotional Response. This is Life Coaching with Ink. Ivory, how are you doing this evening? We're continuing the series on love. Last episode, we had a special guest, Michelle. I just want to applaud her bravery for sharing with us and imparting truth to the world on how love is not pain, when she felt love equated to pain, and how she got out of that mindset of thinking love is pain. That was an awesome interview, because it's easy for someone to put on a mask and play as if, or imagine as if they know what it feels like. But when you talk and you are in front of somebody that's went through it and says how intense the pain was and how amazing it was to get out of it, it's impacting. It's very impacting. And I wanted to do a part 2 of Love is Pain under the series of love, mainly because I wanted to talk about another compartment of love is not pain. Abuse is a part of a negative part of relating with people that can come out when people have been taught different abnormal ways of loving or expressing affection or need or want or connection. They walk around with mislabeled titles in love, and abuse comes out of that. Molestation comes out of that. Physical abuse, not just domestic abuse, physical abuse. And people try to brainwash you into thinking you know love in a different realm, or they introduce you to what they think love is on a different realm. So we're all born with the knowledge of right and wrong. And it's something that is wired in us when something feels right and when it doesn't feel right. Can those sensories become perverted? Sure. Can you blur the lines? Sure. Can those labels be mismanaged? Sure. Based on your background, your relationships, everything can be skewed. And when you realize that, can you get back to what is right and what is wrong? We live in an environment where people try to give off the impression that there are no absolutes. However, there are concrete absolutes in life. The sky is above us. That's an absolute. The ground is below us. That's an absolute. Gravity exists. That's an absolute. If you hit me, there's chances it will hurt. That's an absolute. If you romantically be affectionate to me and you're not in a relationship with me, that can be abuse of power. Persuading me to think it's love. And so, as we go back into the dialogue of love is not pain, I just want to impart some truths and enlighten those that are under my voice and they feel like they've been misled. Love is not pain. Let me say that again. Love is not pain. Can people you love hurt you? Sure. Can, after repeated offenses, you get the impression that love is not your friend? Sure. But it's only because those relationships were toxic or that person didn't know what love is. But that does not mean love is pain. Love is not pain. And when we understand that and we dialogue about that, we redefine what love is. And I feel like when we get into relationships, we tend to make that individual an all-encompassing definition of what love is. Just because we fall in love, we vocalize we love that person. However, they are not the all-encompassing definition of love. Are they capable of loving you? Yeah. Anyone under the sun is capable of loving you if they want to. But you can't equate it to pain, because this is one thing we have to realize in relationships. Relationships show you, number one, who you really are as a person, your strengths, your weaknesses. Number two, what you really want. And number three, it helps you to grow as an individual. Whether the relationship lasts for a year, whether it lasts for 50 years. You walk away from the relationship and you grow. You stay in the relationship and you grow. Either way, you're growing. And what happens with growth? It involves pain. Because this is what we have to realize. When we enter in, and I'm mainly talking about romantic relationships now, when we enter in relationships with one another, we get this impression that this person is going to meet all of our needs, all of our desires, and they're going to attend to us like no one else is going to attend to us. We walk around with that impression, especially when we vocalize, I love you. Well, you love me enough to do X, Y, and Z. You love me enough to do A, B, and C. And one thing to save face is we in exchange give that impression that we will be this superhero, this superwoman to do that. When in reality is we're flawed. That person is flawed and we're flawed. So knowing that pain will be involved. And it could be on a small scale. You could be laying in a bed with your significant other and they turn over. You anticipate a kiss. They don't give a kiss. Instead, they get up. They brush their teeth. They comb their hair. They start getting dressed. And then they say, I love you and goodbye. And go to work. You're laying there stuck because you had the expectation of them giving you a kiss. And they, in their mind, they was just good with saying, I love you. Doesn't mean they love you any less. No. Different expectations will occur daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And depending on the relationship, it will weigh to what extent we hold dear those expectations. Because every relationship has different boundaries. So, to someone that you consider very close to you, where you might anticipate talking to them every day. To someone that is just a casual relationship, you only anticipate talking to them once a month or once every 2 weeks. Either way, it's fine, but you need to label it. So, when diving into the topic of love is not pain, one of the key things that come up just by talking about that is labels. What a relationship really is. If it's a relationship. And when it's okay to seek clarity. You meet someone tomorrow. You're getting to know them. In your mind, before you met them, you wanted a loving relationship with someone. So, you went in with the idea, once you met them the next day, wow, this probably is the person I could have a loving relationship with. Now, this is the key thing. That's an expectation just by thinking it. This is the key thing. Just because you're mentally there when you meet them, that doesn't mean that they're mentally there. And you must build a rapport. It's just safe. It's just safe for your heart. It's safe for just your growth as an individual. You just don't want to run around and live to learn. You want to learn to live. That means learn to live means you don't have to go through everything. Someone else might go through a hurt and be able to share it with you. Or someone else might be able to give you knowledge on how to deal with that. And you don't have to go through all the bumps and bruises of life. So knowing that, you learn to live and say, though I met this person the next day after I thought that, let me build a rapport with them and see if they are where I am. Because lines can get blurred. Feelings can be involved. Physical contribution plays a part. And things get all out of sync. And before you know it, you're at the road of pain. And you're looking at the world saying, screw love. When you kind of sort of need to take baby steps when it comes to meeting people. Just to see where they're at. Laws of attraction is real. And there's chances you can meet someone that's on the same wavelength as you and want a loving relationship. However, you need to keep in mind also building a rapport will only help that process. Because then you'll get to learn their habits, they get to learn your habits. And as much as they want something, they might not be ready for it. Or they might want it, and it'd be some habits that y'all have to grow in the relationship that they have to learn to break out of while they in a relationship with you. And then you have to ask yourself, are you willing to take on that journey with them? Yeah, it gets a little tedious, a little technical, and it can make you turn away and say, I don't want a relationship. Because relationships are work, but they're not a job. When a relationship starts feeling like a job, where, I got to go to this 9 to 5 type feeling, I got to be in this relationship type feeling, you need to stand back and reevaluate so many different things. That's another topic for another day.